Good morning, everybody. I don't know why it does that. Good morning. You got a bunch of stuff going on here today, like a lot of stuff. So let's get to it. First, let's just go through the ES here and just start. Obviously, that is going to be on the economic data. And I think this is going to be the harder part of this going into earnings here is that this econ data is going to be probably worse than people think going forward. It's definitely going to be an issue, but we're going to go through some of this here. I'll grab it so that you can see it. And I'm not really worried about the imports and the exports, but the imports are really down and that might scare people. I'm more interested in this. Here, I'll show you. Let me grab it and then I'll drop it in. Let's get rid of this and we'll go from there. Cool. So this is going to start becoming an issue. That claims are going higher and higher and higher. The continuing claims dropped, which is interesting. But you see this claims, this is going to start scaring people because it's climbing and climbing and climbing. That's definitely an issue. Claims 4-week average is going up as well. So that's an issue. Some people could worry about the imports and the exports, balance of trade. What's the consensus balance of trade? What was supposed to be imported, exported? I don't really care because they can fix that. But this kind of stuff starts to scare me when this starts upticking because it is a problem. And we'll have to see how much of that plays out. But it's got nothing to do with whether or not Powell cuts interest rates. And that's really where the problem's going to come in. Obviously, tomorrow is non-farm payrolls, and all eyes are going to be on non-farm payrolls. But I think it's super important here just to understand what you're going to be dealing with today. So I'd mark off your levels, and I'd go from there. Let me just see that. Let me just see that. Yes. So let's just go from here. And give me 1 second. I just want to see something here. Give me 1 minute. I want to reread this. Okay, good. So in regards to the, let me just do it this way. Actually, probably better just to do it that way. Perfect. A lot of moving parts today, man. Like a lot. It's crazy how much is going on this morning. Okay. Wow. Man, oh man, did they buy that dip? They're not buying that at all. This non-farm payrolls number is going to be really wild tomorrow. So they're projecting like a 2% move, still hitting that level and not breaking it. So you can kind of see your range. I mean, it's not really, it's not really a lot more that I have to say there, is there? For those that trade it. I hate that it keeps doing this to me. I wish it would just save it like that on every single layout. But man, oh man, you came right back down to that level over and over again, didn't you? And you just bounced super hard. Wow. Let's take a look at the NQ. Did the NQ do the same thing? It probably did. It always gives me this weird seed company. It's so odd. Man, oh man, they're just crushing people here. Right there again from that number, the Wednesday number. ADP. Right from it. That's crazy how exact that is, isn't it? So there's your level. And there's where you've been fighting. Now that level from there is starting to become support. See it? You're going to want to watch that level closely today. You know, that's that 815 ADP number. Right there. You're definitely going to want to watch that level. The number was hot too, and they just do not care. Super interesting that they don't care. Makes you wonder what's coming out, that they would take advantage of weak macro data to buy the market. I mean, you have earnings tonight. But that's something, isn't it? It's a heck of a bounce, man. Heck of a bounce. So if they look at it from the perspective of the SPY, right to it, 595, and then you held. I mean, that doesn't really get any cleaner, does it? And this really bothers me. I wish I could be footloose and fancy free like the rest of you. But that area, you can just say it. Just an outright buy. It's incredible, too, because you have bad news. Really makes you wonder what's coming out. Earnings so far have been pretty good. Bonk, 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 bonk. I mean, I'm getting clearer, guys. I don't think so. I don't think so. You think they can get any clearer? I don't think so. Good Lord. Crazy. Tesla, I think that he's just having a complete, utter meltdown, and I think it's affecting the stock big time. So, I mean, I start looking at these levels, and it's like, he's just eroding my entire gain by his nonsense. So I have this trade I put on. I'm still up in it considerably, but this is not going well, like at all. Like not even a little bit. Watch how ugly this got and how fast this got ugly. Like it's only been since Thursday, man. I mean, it's crazy how ugly this is getting. And the issue with it is how fast he was, he's turning like on the same people that he was just out there, like nice, questioning them and everything else and thanking them. And, it is what it is, but I'm not saying he doesn't have a right to speak, but at some point it's like, geez, I mean, you're going to alienate both sides. Like who are you selling cars to? Penguins? So it's just very frustrating. This needs to hold. There's a level down here, like 318, but if that breaks, you're like, there's a 318. I think it's 318.36 is the exact number. If I'm right. It's like 318.36. It's like right in here. If I can find it. No, I might be wrong. It might be this. I thought it was 36. 318.78. I'm off. You need to hold there. It's right on that open. You know what it is? It's that's what it is. You got to watch this. I don't think you're going to hold. I'm just going to tell you my sense of it. That's why I'm so infuriated, because I didn't read this properly. I didn't think that. I actually thought him leaving, he would just, maybe shut up and make a car, but it's not what he's doing. And I think people they're getting to the point, like, it's just too much risk. Like, you're going to alienate the administration as well. Like, it's not a good look. It's a problem. Is it a blessing or a problem? It's a problem. So super interesting article yesterday from Bank of America on some of these app companies, but they did upgrade Meta, and you might want to pay attention to that one. It just absolutely, utterly ripped. If we go and take a look at this from a longer term perspective and go here on an hourly chart, you're up here already, and you're heading to some of these levels pretty easily. I don't see how you're not going to see a 7 handle sooner than later is really where I'm looking at it. There's a doji right here, doji right up the top there. That's 704.31. That's been an issue for it. I'm not sure why, but that 704.31 area, bonk, 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 right? Like once you broke there, you never flipped it. So there are always the areas that I want to watch. When I break an area that became and flipped to support, and then that breaks resistance, and we can see that's the real battleground, right? That's always the areas that I really want to pay attention to. And I really think now 700 will be an issue too, but I don't know how much. But I do think that 704, and I don't know that you can get there today, but you had a lot of buying yesterday. So it's definitely worth paying attention to. As far as MSTR, right now you have these new ETFs that came out. I'm wondering how much that's going to affect it. But your bottom level, like where you're at, bottoms right here, 372 all day long seems to be that level. And I can see that in here as well. And then really you have this like DTL slant. I'm sure you guys say it, but you really just want to watch like stuff like this. Like, oh, you just imploded? Yeah. At the end of the day, yeah. That's my voice. And then you can kind of see here, like watch, but wait, there's more. Come on, work with me, not against me. You probably already saw this, but now you have like this DTL out there that you're probably going to want to watch and go from there. So I'd watch that as well. I think that could be a real pickle. And there was one more that I really want to cover. Oh, we should probably cover these levels. So, and I'm not going to go spend a lot of time on it, but you get it. And then we'll go from there. I'll take some questions for the time. I'm really pushing guys to get to that 815 level. So you might start seeing these trade early. Start early. Trade early. Jesus. More coffee. Good morning. When am I coming up there? I think August. I think I'll be up in August. Is how it's looking. Yeah. I'm thinking August because the heat's going to get way too much down here, or I might go somewhere else, but I'm thinking there. I don't know. I don't know. MSTR premium stock IPO. Yeah, I don't know what MSTR is doing. They're issuing something, right? Aren't they doing something where they're going to spin something else off? I forget what it is, but I did hear about that. And I got to tell you guys, there's so much news coming out right now. I can't even keep up with it all. Let me just run through research real quick, see what I come up with on that. Because I know there's something out there where he said they were doing something. But I thought they were going to do something where they were going to issue another stock or something. I did see something along those lines. But anyway, I don't have that in front of me, so I'm not going to get into it. But I did think they'd say something. AVGO tends to be a market topper. I don't know if that's what I'm going to be dealing with this time or not. I truly don't know, what I'm going to be dealing with this time. So, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. But I don't have an answer on that. I don't know if it's going to be, a market topper or not. But we'll see. We'll find out tonight. Find out together. What's up, Babano? Yeah, I think it's all going to be on. I really think it's going to be all on AVGO. If you look at how this is going into the call, you're up 10 points on nothing but air because of only thing I can assume is what they're expecting is an increase in demand. And so from my perspective, yeah, that's absolutely huge. And I think it's very telling how this is setting up. you haven't come out with earnings. You haven't done anything. You're from like 60 to 105. Like you're ripping. You're actually back to where the earnings were here. So you have to really flip that area, in my opinion, before really considering getting involved. It's not really my kind of trade in here. I've rejected too many times, and now I've got this. You do have this here, John, but by the time you cut through all those wicks, see all the wicks on the downside. So I really should be a lot tighter there. That's actually a perfect break. So I'd want to get up over something in here to see that it's actually going to do what you want it to do. And I can actually just clone them and see how exact that would really be. It's not really that great. You're really over here. Unless you're like forking. And down the rabbit hole we go. Which is what you're doing. So, yeah, I'm not really crazy about that. I understand the interest, but I'm just not. It's not for me. Oh, Alan, I'm sorry. So there's a couple here. GWRA, something like this. Yeah, but now I have Wick City. So I have no interest in this until I make a decision. I really don't. And then I have to make it on like huge volume. So for me, I've got a 30-point trading range. This is what I tend to do with these names. Let me know when you make a decision. And then when that makes a decision, what I'll do from there is I'll figure out if that's something I want to pay attention to or not. That's how I view it. And then, I'll go from there. But that's really how I view it. I don't even know if I want to pay attention to it yet. So, we'll see. So they were at a conference. I want to say B of A, but I think it was somebody else. But maybe it was B of A, and it went very well for them. And that's what you're doing. You're flipping. So what's really interesting to me is the amount of volume yesterday that came in on day 2. You probably have a real shot here to 58. So they had a really good conference, and that's why it moved. This GRRR, these little guys are moving. Something like this, when it does this, like when these things do this, which just moved like huge, something just flipped. Wow, realizing that they want to own everything. Yep, shocker. When you flip like this, you want to pay attention. It's that bar you want to pay attention to. Now that's really interesting. I know a couple guys in the room trade this sucker, but you see this right here? Let's get it exact so you can see what I'm looking at. See that right there? You're never able to really close below that bar. And then you have earnings, and you never close below that. So, I mean, it's a pretty easy stop. What you want to do is probably that. That's probably the level. Where is the 288, 289? I mean, it doesn't get more obvious that that's your level. What I'd want to do with something like this is, and it doesn't mean I'm going to get it, but what I like with these kinds of trades is this. I'd like them to rally up over, and then after they rally up over, then I'd like to see them and then I want to watch what they do from there. So I want to watch it rally over, and then after it does that, so here, like I'm looking for something like I'm looking for something like this, so you kind of get it. So I'll flip to this so you can see where I'm at. me this little drawing tool. Let's get rid of this and we'll go to here. And what I'm looking for is something like this. That's really what I want out of something like that. Like that kind of stuff makes it super interesting to me. And I don't see that you're doing that. Okay. All right. Give me 1 second here, guys. Been a lot of levels here, a lot of things to look at tonight, man. It's gonna be crazy. One more sec and then I'm ready to go. Cool. Yay. All right. Yeah, I that's what I needed to do. I need to do something like that. But that does look like you're setting up here. What is ripping? All those software names. Okay. I'm just watching one of the accounts. I'm like, it's off to a good start. Like, what's the haps? All right. Yeah. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thanks, Bergie. You know, you would expect this thing to lift more. I don't know why it's not. It's such a frustrating chart. For me, it doesn't fit the narrative of where I want to be. That's why I haven't bought it. I'll show you what I mean by that. You see this level right here, that May 13th level? So if I go to May 13th and I mark that off, I have a bunch of other names that are just absolutely ripping. This market's going to be at all-time highs. Oh, man. And people miss out. I don't know, man. I'd be careful with that until you get through that May 13th level. Yeah, they're still working. I mean, we went through them. I went through CoreWeave too. Let's go through these. Hey, Mitch. So the hymns, to me, this is your day. So you get the first day where, and candidly, I as well was kind of like floored, like what the heck's going on here. So you get your first day, like, I guess they thought maybe they were going to do a secondary or something. I don't know, but in a creative merger, and this is what you do with it, it's kind of weird. It is what it is, but today's day 2. What you really want to see from day 2 after the selling, because you have the hopers and the dreamers, and then their hopes and dreams got smashed, right? So what you don't want to do on a day like today is you don't want to break that low. Like what you really want on a day like today is an inside day. So you put a little alert there just in case it breaks it, but you really want an inside day. And then the next day that you really want is tomorrow. And then you want to watch from there, because that's when you're going to get your turns. If you can get the inside day, then we have a shot here at some greatness. And that's really what we want to see. You know, can we get that? Can we get over that level? And I'm not sure yet, but we'll see what happens with it. The ASTS was super interesting yesterday because of how it respected levels. And I'll show you what I mean by this. So when you look at ASTS, here's that level right here. See it? So you respected that yesterday. And so that would be the level that I'd want to watch again today. I think the way to look at this is understand that you're in a range, and it's not the hardest range in the world. And then what I tend to do with these things is just let me know when you make a decision, and then I can make a decision. So like if I break out of this triple top, I kind of want to know. If I come down here and test, I kind of want to know. So I put alerts on them, because other than that, it makes no sense for me to stare at this thing all day. I just want to know what it's going to do, and then I can make a more informed decision. The HIMS, I think you're a day late or a day. I think you're a day early. I think you need to see what it does today more than anything. And I could be wrong. Some of these names, I really don't understand what they're doing. And I keep trying to figure it out. Like, I can't figure this out for the life of me. And I got to do more work on it. But like the CEG dropping like this, again, for me, it's a function of let's watch the selling, see if the selling's done. And then when the selling's done, I'd probably look at this. The same thing I would do with VST. Like, I'm not buying that. You got to figure out what you want to be when you grow up, because I don't understand what you're doing. I get the LEU moving on the upgrade today. It's very clear that was out and about because you can see the 127 undercut and then rally, right? The liquidity grab there. So you can definitely see that. But I guess for me, give me a second here. I might have to do something. Give me 1 second, guys. Boop, 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 boom. So it looks like you worked all that off, doesn't it? And back over. It looks like we're getting there. I just don't know if you're really going to do it this morning or not. We're just going to play around. You did get above it. Let's keep watching. I want to get back to this. I like all these nuclear names. I'm going to leave it at that because I want to get through a bunch of stuff. I like all those nuclear names. I do. I think you have to have some patience here, man. I don't think people fully understand that trade, to be honest with you. I don't think they get that trade fully yet. I don't know, man. I keep waiting for that. I keep waiting for it. We're not getting it yet, though, are we? D-Dog. These are the kinds of names you need guys to be looking at, like these software names. And you really want to watch this like May 13th, 14th level. Because when you start flipping that, that's when it gets super interesting. Yeah, please hit the like button. It helps greatly with the algorithm. Yeah, I actually think the MDB is a really good sign on what's to come, because it's a complete rejection of what you've seen before. And I think that's super important. Like, you have this whole rejection here of, oh, wow, look at what's going on. And I personally think that's really important. So what do I mean by that? Like, I think you have this rejection. Like, this is where my head goes with it. I think you have this complete, utter rejection of this was going to be the status quo, which happened in March. And now you're seeing the exact opposite. I mean, this thing just went from 142, this weird doji down here on the 7th to, yay, no tariffs, down. And now you're staring at 237. So, like, yeah, I think you're seeing that turn come around, and you have this DTL that you're going to try to break. So I think a lot of those software names are super interesting, to say the least. But you're definitely over that. Now, if you use the body, you're there. I mean, obviously, if you use the peak, you're definitely there. But, depends how you view the world. But it depends, man. It depends on what you're really shooting for here. So I think you have to I think you have to chill a little bit here more than anything. I don't know you want to rush into this morning. I felt the same way yesterday. I was pretty right on that thought process. I really think people are going to sit on the sidelines until you see what happens with non-farm payrolls tomorrow. I think that could really be the case. Yeah, you can get shares to short. I'm not sure I don't know that that's a good thing. I want the exhaustion move. I haven't gotten it yet. What's up? Morning from Miami. I just haven't gotten it yet. It's 9 o'clock. I'm going to have to go there. Data dropped. UPS, no thoughts. Good morning from the basement. Good morning from Miami. ASML, I like a lot. What's up, Jose? Yeah, I mean, I think you should be selling. I'm buying premium, and I'm selling a lot of options on earnings the day after, and I'm buying a lot of calls and puts now because it's super cheap to do it. It makes way more sense. Yeah, that they're definitely worth paying attention to. No, claims were really bad. Continuing claims did drop. Agreed. Good morning from Tokyo. Good morning from Miami. AWY. Did it? That's crazy. Really crazy, man. This thing's all over the place. Is this where there was like a like martial law? Was that it? How'd that go for him? Yeah, I think it's really interesting that they're just like, whatever. They're like, but the news, it's like, whatever, boomer. We're going higher. Okay. They both look great. They don't go up. Yeah, it looks really bad. It's just like it just, I mean, he just can't get a handle upon itself. And I saw it yesterday, and I saw it when it cracked yesterday, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm just going to watch the 22. And then like this morning, I'm breaking it. My hope is that I rally over it. Usually when you're gapped down like this, you have some kind of rally. I might buy some puts against it because I'm in from down here. So I gave it a long leash, but that leash is about to end. You know, no matter what it is, when I buy like a $200-300 stock, I'm up 100 points, and then I start cracking that 100-point level. I know it's silly to look at it that way, but that's how my head looks at it. It's like, you know, I should be looking at the technicals, but my mind goes to it like, okay, well, now you're sub that level. What are you doing? And from here, it made sense because I'm like, well, you could be wedged in here. You're going to bonk tomorrow, and then you rally. Yeah, we didn't do that. And that's that, you know, you're like 20-day low, and usually you do an undercut there and then kind of rally. Maybe I get that, or maybe just, you know, maybe we just go right to the 55. So you know, how adventurous are you feeling? So yeah, that's what I think too. I think he was asked to leave. I think there's something there we're about to find out on PLTR. I like General Dynamics. I like that whole space. Xena, is it Warrior Princess? I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I literally know nothing about it. They have drones. We're all going to get drones. To me, the market's going a lot higher, and I'll tell you why. I'll get into it in the video. I think the market's going a lot higher, but I think you got to work through some crap first. I don't know how else to say it. I think you got to work through some crap. I'm going to do something here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to sell this thing. Took a staring at it. Give me a second, you know, and now I'm going to be cute with it. Not today, Satan. Not today. All right. It's a pickle. Mr. Pickle, where you been? All right. It's a beast, dude. It's an absolute beast. The one industry they're not going after is home insurance. They're not going after any kind of insurance. I got to jump, guys. Trade to win today. Big earnings tonight.